サンリオ男子。
Hi guys, it's Kayla and welcome back to my channel for some more Sanrio Boys. We were at a stopping point just about to make a choice, I believe, so yeah, let's continue on. Oh yeah, so this line I wasn't really that sure on. I think I translated as liking my melody isn't for bad girls or something like that, which doesn't make sense. So I think it might be more along the lines of there aren't any bad kids that like my melody. I'm not sure. Honestly, it's a strange line. With Mizuno smiling and looking at me from such a close distance, my cheeks grew hot without my control. His face is truly refined. It's beautiful. The choices are take a deep breath, ask to seize my melody charm again, or hold his gaze. So I guess I'll go the confident route and hold his gaze. Okay. When I looked back at him, Princeton, that's enough. My dog keeps playing around on my bed, sorry if you guys can hear that. When I looked back at him, Mizuno blinked. What? Is there something on my face? Perhaps this wasn't actually the right choice. There's nothing. Are you sure? My face gets even warmer. I did something strange, didn't I? Yes, definitely not a good choice. Then suddenly we hear the door burst open. Shushu. I peek at the door and I see Yoshino entering the room. I like his nickname for him. You're late. Shut up. Yoshino sees me and silently sets down his school bag. What, did you contact the club yet? Yeah. I wonder if he heard from Mizuno that I'd be visiting the club room from now on. As they talk back and forth, I'm thinking. Yoshino's looking down at Mizuno, who sat down in the chair, and he seems a bit uncomfortable when he talks. For the sports event, you wouldn't chose basketball. At Yoshino's words, Mizuno laughs like he's enjoying himself. Then he rested his chin on the table and said, Whatever the case, I'd pick basketball. The soccer club's unbalanced, which makes it impossible for the ace of the team to participate. After Yoshino remained silent for a while, he took a breath. Are you talking about the sports meet? Still sitting in the chair, Hasegawa turned to face the two. The sports meet. It's divided into 4 events: volleyball, soccer, basketball, and table tennis, separated by grade. These are all carried out at once as a tournament called the Great Sports Meet. Koda, what are you playing? I'm doing soccer. President? Real? What about you guys? I'm doing basketball too. I'm doing volleyball. I'm doing volleyball too! As everyone gave their answers, Mizuno laughed and said, I'd like to say some words of wisdom, but, well, we can all go and root for each other, right? I'm looking forward to it. Viewing everyone's excitement, I think the same. At the Great Sports Meet, I'm sure everyone's gonna give it their all. I'm gonna do my best too.
おかしいな。本気で褒めようと思うと、うまく言葉が出てこねえの。
Okay, I have a really bad listening skills in Japanese, so this could be totally wrong, but I heard something that would translate something like, It's fun, huh? Everyone's earnestly supporting each other. We'll be surrounded by these words until the day comes. That last part I'm really not sure about, but sounds like it could be it. And so some days passed, and the day of the Great Sports Meet came. All of the grades' basketball and volleyball matches were to be carried out in the gym. I changed into my tracksuit and walked through the hall to the gym with my friends. It's Mizuno and Yoshino. From the sound of their voice, it seemed like they were drawing near. Hey, aren't those guys from the class over from us, Mizuno and Yoshino? Wow, look at all the girls that surround them. Sure enough, when I look, there are girls surrounding them. You could hear the cries of girls from here. I wish they weren't so loud. Even so, just before when they passed by, our eyes met and I noticed Mizuno gazing at me. He lifted his hand just a bit above his waist to give a small greeting, and I waved back at him. What's this? Kayla, are you guys greeting each other in the halls now? I let out a surprised sound at my friend's notion. When we arrived at the gym, I was still thinking about earlier as the rules of the game were being explained. Because I sit next to Hasegawa, he met me a few times and we became friends, that's all. It's not lying to say that, right? I took a breath under the scrutinizing eyes of my friends. He certainly is good friends with Hasegawa. He's always coming by class to visit him. Yep. We looked up as everyone started to separate a bit, and sure enough, there was Mizuno and Hasegawa chatting. At any rate, they do stand out, huh? Since you're friends with them, all the girls in school are going to be watching you now. Be careful, okay? At my blunt friend's advice, my chest began to hurt while I nodded in response. Yeah, thank you. Then the Great Sports Meet began, so I headed over to the volleyball match. Then, with a blow of a whistle, the match was finally over. At the same time, I felt a pain in my knee. I fell during the game just a few moments ago and injured my knee. In the end, we lost the game, and somehow I can't help but feel a little depressed about it. How pathetic. Because of the long jersey I was wearing, I couldn't see my injured knees. I wonder if I put a band-aid on it, it'll be okay. At least if I do that, I can do my best cheering for the other teams. With that in mind, I headed to the nurse's office. I had to head straight across the basketball court. This way now. Got it. The other game wasn't quite finished where my friend was walking me along the court. At the same time, I heard someone rushing around the court and calling out in a loud voice. Ah, the team from the class opposite our homeroom. It was Mizuno who was crying out on the basketball court. Shunsuke! In response to his call, Yoshino passed it swiftly to Mizuno without even turning his head. Mizuno caught the ball and smiled happily. Then, right in front of him, 3 defense players appeared. Wow, cool. He dodged all the defense players with ease. Maintaining his vigor, he started heading toward the basket. All the girls in the gym went wild. Mizuno, go! I held my breath and kept my eyes on Mizuno. We all watched intently as the basketball game continued. The whole gym's energy increased. Still holding the ball, Mizuno smiled as he drew closer to the basket. He quickly passed the ball to the side. Yoshino came running up from behind and caught the ball. He broke free from the defense and headed for a goal with full force. Ah! I couldn't help but root for them, even though they weren't from my class. No one could take their eyes off of Mizuno and Yoshino, the dynamic duo. Shunsuke, nice shot. Nice pass. The two smiled at each other in celebration. They really are amazing. So cool. As I was thinking this, Mizuno's eyes met mine. Mizuno noticed me and gave me a big smile and a peace sign. I wondered how it would be good to respond and decided to wave back when another girl in the crowd says, "Oh my gosh, did he just give me a peace sign?" All the girls behind me watching the game let out screams. Not just one girl says it, but many others too. So it wasn't just for me. Listening to the sound of the girls arguing over who the peace sign was for, I just gave a small smile. The cheers spreading throughout the crowd didn't stop even now. Everyone around the court can see the sparkle in Mizuno. I wish his smile was for me. As we all rooted for the basketball teams, it eventually came time for the match to end. Is the game over already? Hasegawa! I looked behind me to see a familiar face. It was Hasegawa. I ran over here and the game's over. How was your soccer match? I won, of course. I smiled in response and we turned back toward the basketball game. What about you? That instant, the whistle on the court blew. The crowd went wild. I wonder if they noticed Hasegawa. Mizuno and Yoshino headed this way as they wiped away their sweat. Koda! Mizuno's face showed a bright smile as he smiled out to Koda. We won! Yoshino smiled quietly next to Mizuno. Of course! He seemed to say it on purpose to embarrass him and was laughing like he was enjoying it. After saying the end of game goodbyes, Mizuno and Yoshino headed back our way. You're late, Koda. You missed all the action. I saw. Sure, even though you said you wanted to root for us. Mizuno seemed to look purposefully dejected. But Kayla was definitely there rooting for us. Yeah. Just as our gaze met, the marquee at the back suddenly began to sound. My eyes narrowed and Mizuno spoke. You think it'll feel your strong gaze? Okay, checkpoint. Okay guys, so I unlocked a bonus story and then we will be continuing on to the rest of this story next time. Thank you guys so much for watching and comment down below what you thought of this part. Talk to you next time. Bye!